I did it
Hi.
again.
Oh, there's the squeaking.
Right on cue.
Master Bean has entered the chat.
He has entered the chat. I'll mute myself if it gets out of control.
Oh, we love him. It's okay. It's not as loud for us as it is for you.
Oh, thank God. Because all I hear.
Yeah, no, it's not anywhere near as loud.
Hi,
everybody. Ooh, Aaron, we're on TVs. Big TVs.
Ooh.
I know.
Sorry, Melissa. I don't have any makeup on.
Hi, guys. You'll never see me without makeup.
You'll never see me with it.
The gang's all here. Yay, good. We're glad you're here because we have a really fun show tonight. Generally, we let you guys know the topic that we're going to be covering, but this one is a really cool topic, and we have an amazing guest. So we just wanted to surprise everybody. Oh, thanks, Melissa. We want to surprise everybody, and so we're not going to do our usual back and forth situation. The only thing, Aaron, that I have for them is that those of you who know EVPE, the show that was with Chris and Audra, Tony, Cherie, Ron, and Lourdes, that ended in December. But Chris and Audra have a new show with two new co-hosts, Carmela and Todd. I had to write this, how they say their last name, Cocatilo. I was like, I don't want to butcher this. Yeah. Carmela and Todd Cocatilo. They started a new show this past Monday called Stay Haunted, and they announced it on their show on Monday. And so we're going to let you guys know that Aaron and I are going to be on their show. April 21st, Easter Monday. Yes. No reason that it's Easter Monday. We don't have a special Easter thing to talk about, but that's just for those. I was like, I need to remember that. So on the 21st, Aaron and I are going to be on their show Monday on Facebook and on YouTube. So check it out. I believe it's at 9:00 Eastern. Yes. So, yeah. Right. So we wanted to let you guys know. Wow. Hi, everybody. This is really great. Okay. Do you have any announcements or anything for the crew before we bring on the amazing guests and start this fabulous conversation?
The only thing I could think of in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be kind of launching and starting to do Reiki again, which is with clients. So I'm trying to get my shit together to get that going.
Yay.
But I'll have that. I'll announce that when I get my shit together. But that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Okay. Well, would you like to introduce the topic and bring our guests on?
I don't even think I have to introduce the topic. All we can say is it's not going to be farm related. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Andrea!
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Oh, it's so good to be on your show. And as all the names were coming up, I'm like, okay, she's one of mine. He's one of mine.
Yep.
She's one of mine. Oh, she's definitely one of mine. Oh, yeah, he's one of mine. I'm like, we share all, Mary Beth, we share all the same people. Melissa, of course. Oh, Melissa. I just love her.
Yes.
So sincere. I mean, you've got such a great Rose. Yeah. I know all your people because they're my people too. And isn't that wonderful?
It's wonderful. Yeah. Aaron and I are always saying that we have finally found our tribe, and it's this merry band of weirdos.
Misfits, and freaks, weirdos, and misfits.
It's all of us. Yes.
Some of them.
Yes. So yes, guys, some of you did guess it. They were like, I think it's this. And Zach was like, okay, I've narrowed it down. It's either Michelle or it's Andrea. And I'm like, it's neither of them. I don't know what to tell you.
I think this is the first time I've seen Andrea on camera since like before I moved to Maine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Hit there. Hit a button.
Look at her gorgeous hair. I told her before we came on, I was like, I love it. It's so sexy and sassy, and it's just gorgeous.
It's really short. I started oh sweet. Oh
Freaking
no.
George.
Oh no, it's George. Oh God, it's George. Oh,
I told you I was gonna do it.
She didn't know my co-author. Oh my God, my co-author on In a Flicker, which was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but it's also a book worth reading if you can get through it. God help you. It's so gruesome and graphic. And the worst of it all comes directly from the annals of history, directly from the reports, the police reports and the coroner reports. And it's just, oh my God.
I do love a good coroner report.
Yeah. Well, read In a Flicker. Read In a Flicker. It will. Yeah, it'll change you. It really will. It in a different way than the trilogy does, than my trilogy does. It's different, but we wrote it for the women who lost their lives so that this son of a bitch could be world famous forever and ever.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and they still don't know exactly who it is. They still don't know. So, but anyway, George is here, so I won't say anything untoward. Of our editing. Yes, no, this is true, George. That was the worst. Yeah, that was the worst. Okay, moving on. My sister April's birthday, God rest her soul. Her birthday was March 27th. Mm-hmm. And it was she'd been gone 8 years. Wow. And I can't believe that it's been 8 years. It feels like 8 minutes. Really, I mean, there's some things you just don't get over, losses that you just don't get over. And that was one for me.
Yeah.
And the only comfort is that I know that she and my mom are together.
Yeah.
And I know that they are. Yeah. And so that helps me to get through. But now they're helping me. But on April was always absolutely fearless. She was also reckless, but mostly she was fearless. And about maybe 3 months ago, the chemo really started working on my body in such a way that I began to lose my hair. And my hair was pretty long. I hadn't really cut it very much at all, except at home during COVID.
Yeah.
Want to go to a salon or anything. And I wasn't traveling, doing anything. So I just let it grow and be full and bushy and how it's always been my whole life. And on her birthday, in honor of her, I got in the car and I drove to Great Clips and I told the lady, take all but an inch. Mm-hmm. Take it all. And then I sat there with a plastic bag in my lap. And as she cut it off, we put it into the bag and put it into the bag. Because I don't know if I'm ever going to have that hair again. And it had already changed.
Yeah.
And oh, thank you, sweetheart. It had already gotten thinner and the curl was gone. And, the chemo does a number on your bones. It does a number on your hair. It's, it does. And so I saved it all up because at the end of the month, I'm going to Houghton Lake, Michigan, the one and only trip that I have officially planned for the year. And Greta is coming with me because somebody's got to watch me. And and we're going to go up and do a Mystical Awakenings spiritual retreat at Houghton Lake, Michigan with all the white witches. And so I'm bringing my hair so that everybody can have some hair to do, what they want to do with.
That's going to be really cool.
And there'll be Reiki masters and there'll be, meditations and there'll be galactic family and, the whole 9 yards. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I wish I could have gone. I just, after my surgery, I'm still not walking so great and in physical therapy. And I'm I just can't yet.
It's okay. It will not be the last event that I attend. I promise you that. Tom's coming.
Tom is going. Yep.
It's not going to be. And I'll tell you, about 3 weeks ago, about a month ago, I had my most recent PET scan. And, my doctor, she's a fabulous oncologist, top of her class at Emory University Hospital. I mean, she's just a really big deal. She's great.
Yeah.
My original assessment and then diagnosis was incurable, inoperable.
Mm-hmm.
And, nobody wants to hear those words, especially together.
Right.
And I told her that. I said, I don't want to hear those words. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And she's like, well, don't be upset. I'm like, I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I just don't believe that.
Right.
And so they put me on a drug. Sam, could you please come out of there and stop making a ruckus?
Tell Sam to get off my day bed.
Sam, you got to get off Auntie Erin's day bed, honey, because that's her spot. So I went in, I had my PET scan, and then a week later, I went in to get my next dose of the Kisqali, which is a drug that is chemotherapy, but it's not intended to kill cancer. It doesn't kill cancer. It holds it at bay so that it doesn't grow more.
Yeah.
Which makes it impossible for my oncologist to explain why I went from 13 tumors in my lungs to 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fraction of its original size. That the tumors on my vital organs are gone. That the tumors in my bones are gone.
Mm-hmm.
That most of the tumors in my lymph nodes are gone. There's one left, right? I can feel and it's tiny, tiny.
Yeah.
And the tumor in my right breast, which is where all the cancer in my body emanated from, ruptured. That is down to about 1/10 of what it was originally.
Wow.
And there is no explaining it, nor is there explaining my genetics, where 29% is unidentifiable, as of my DNA is unidentifiable. And I keep saying to her, but I'm not from here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not from here. And she finally said, I believe you, and I can't, I mean, it's dying. It's leaving your body. It's liquefying. It's leaving your body. And I said, yeah, it's trying to find the nearest exit is what it's doing, because it infested the wrong host.
Right.
It's a big mistake. My daily mantra is get out of my big, fat, fluffy temple now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's actually get the fuck out is what it is. And then I finish it with go back and live with your father, the devil.
Yeah.
Not today, Satan.
Yeah, not today, Satan. And so anyway, she wanted to talk about, seeing how I just finished my last round. I know, Jonathan. I know. That's what I say. I finished my 6th round of chemo yesterday. And so now I have 7 days of respite and then back to the hospital and all the tests to make sure everything is fine. Open a vein, get the infusion of the bone strengthening drug that I have to take, which burns like liquid fire going in. I know, Lori, I am. And so, I can't let cancer or chemo dictate anything to me. And so, I mean, I got issues with dictators in general. So, not this.
Right.
My body, my choice. Get out.
Yeah.
And so I went and I told the woman that cut my hair what I was dealing with and that I wanted to be the one that made the decision when it was going to go. And that was the day in honor of my sister, April. And for the next half an hour, she took her time cutting my hair because she wanted to talk. and her aunt, who she loves like a mother, is in hospice with brain cancer. And she's so far advanced now that it's the end. And so, hi, Sandy. I had to help her. And I know that I was there that day at that time for her to be the one to cut my hair so that we could have that conversation.
Yeah.
I know that.
I will never, ever believe that there are any coincidences.
No.
Never, never, never. Every single thing that happens, whether it seems irrelevant or what have you, was meant to happen in that moment with that person. Yeah. Conversations were meant to be had. Yeah. So I love this story very much. I think this is, and on the day that you did it, everything was purposeful.
And I could feel April around me going, good job, Ann. Good job.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So well, let's talk a little bit about where you have drawn some of your strength from, and that you had called in. We're talking about the galactic family tonight, guys. So obviously we brought in the only person that we feel is the best person to have this conversation with, because she is to say you're so well versed is really kind of doing a disservice to exactly your relationship with them. So talk to us a little bit about how that relationship started, first of all.
Well, I really do think that it started at birth. I really do. My first conscious contact was when I was 13. And I saw vessels in the sky over the farm that I knew at 13 were absolutely not made on this planet. We don't have manufacturing plants for spaceships. And it was 1970. Yeah. 1971 or 72.
71, 72, right?
Yeah. So it was a while back. Mm-hmm. And it has, I felt every emotion you could feel except fear. I felt no fear. Okay. I felt a love I've never felt before. Well, I have since, of course, but sure. I had never felt before. My strength comes from my mother. There is, hi, Nancy. It does. My strength comes from my mother, but it also comes from my knowledge. Yeah. I just couldn't even imagine that I wasn't beloved, that I wasn't a part of this galactic family that I'm so familiar with. Yeah. We had 3 different incidents at the farm. We might have had more than that, but they're the 3 that I remember vividly. One was the night that Mom and I were doing dishes, and we didn't have any curtains. I mean, we were so far out, Erin, I mean, it was so desolate. There's
nothing.
No reason to put curtains on the pantry windows.
Right.
So we were doing dishes, and we saw 3 very brilliant crystalline lights that seemed to be dancing around in the sky. And she asked me to hand her the dishcloth that I was using to dry the dishes. And she wiped the soap suds off of her arms and took me by the hand and said, let's go out and see what's going on out there. And before we knew it, all the rest of the family had come too. We don't know why. Nobody remembered why everybody suddenly got up and went outside. Nobody remembered why. I know why. Because as a family, we were supposed to see that together. And we did. And they were all over the sky, 3 of them. It was like they were doing a dance. It was just, and covering vast stretches of the cosmos. I mean, just huge. And then coming back together and then separating apart. And they were just beautiful. And it looked like they were measuring the earth. You know, it was very precise movements.
Yeah.
And then they all came together at once, and mom and dad are looking at each other, you know, just glancing at each other like, you know, I could almost hear them say, what do we tell the girls when they start asking questions? But we didn't. We just observed it.
Yeah.
And they all came together as though they were having a little, you know, powwow. And then in a split second, each one took off in a different direction and just split the sky with the light that they left behind. And they were gone. And we went back in and we finished the dinner dishes and we all sat down and watched The Wonderful World of Disney, and nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about it.
Wow.
And then later that same summer, I think it was the same summer, the laundry room pantry that's off the parlor was right next to my mother's bedroom, which is now the library at the farm. And so when she would do a load of laundry, she'd pick it up and she'd bring it in and throw it on her bed, and everybody'd come pick out what was theirs and fold it and take it off to their rooms. It was a system. It worked. Five kids just make it work. And so Cindy, Christine, mom were in mom's bedroom, and I walked in and all three of them were at the windows, out the back windows, looking like this. And what they saw was about this color, about the blue that I'm wearing, like an orb of crystalline light that was just sparkling, sparkling, sparkling in the sky. And it came in. I know it was August because the corn in our garden was very tall and like ready to harvest. And it came in very suddenly. It was about maybe 2 to 3 feet in diameter around. It looked like a space capsule with the top shaved off, like the cone was just shaved off. It was flat, and all around it on an angle were panels of lights. And it came in and it landed in the corn. And when it did that, it burned the corn, like 3 stalks of corn, like right to the ground, just disintegrated. They were gone.
Wow.
And it stayed for maybe 15 or 20 seconds, no more than that. And then, zoom, it was gone. And the next morning, we went out. We didn't know what had happened. It was nighttime. We didn't know what had happened. It just landed in the garden. And then the next morning we went out, and there was that patch, exactly that patch, perfectly round, that was like disintegrated. I wouldn't even say burned. It was just disintegrated. And nothing grew in that spot for 3 more years.
Whoa. Absolutely
nothing grew in that spot for 3 more years. And then it was fine again. And then we were able to use the whole, that whole section for corn. And those were the 3 incidents. And the blue light. Erin, you know about the blue light special, the light that comes down through the chimney, shoots across the room, and then retracts back up. Mm-hmm. That was the same light that came to get my mom when April came to get mom on a shaft of blue light.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So all these years later, after we all saw it for the first time.
Yeah.
It was when Cindy said, April, come get her now. And she did.
Yeah.
And it was on a shaft of blue light. And it was beautiful. Cindy came in, and I had to leave the room. My mother was not going to leave until I left her bedside. That was it. She just wasn't. And we knew it.
Yeah.
And so Cindy and Christine stayed with her, and my niece Nicole stayed. My niece Stephanie stayed. So she was surrounded by her family, her most beloved. And when the light came through the window and then immediately retracted, Cindy looked up and said, "She's gone.
Mm-hmm.
She's gone."
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful. And her pain was over.
Yeah.
Her suffering was over.
Yeah. I know that.
And now she helps
whole
me.
now.
She helps me. Now she is strong again. She's
going to do more now.
More.
She's whole now. It's not the same. Obviously, my best friend's mother passed away from breast cancer a year and a half ago. And, she feels her mom there. She knows her mother is whole, but it's not the same. She's with her grandparents.
I miss her every moment. I miss her every moment.
Yeah. It's just, but there is comfort in knowing that she's with April again.
Yeah.
She's with your little niece again,
Lucy.
With the Galactic family, for those of us who aren't familiar with them, you call it a family? Is it, so I know that I haven't really studied them a whole lot, and I'm not sure how familiar the folks in the audience that are watching are with them. But so there's the Arcturians, right? And then
there's so
many different. Are they all one family, or when you talk about them, is it one specific family?
No. There's a number of different races. They love us very much. They do. They wouldn't bother coming all this way and keeping an eye on us for millennia if we weren't part of them. We are them, they are us, and all are one. Mm-hmm. And, they look a little different. Not that different. They're humanoid for the most part. They're humanoid.
Okay.
There's, it's been documented that 57 different races have visited planet Earth.
Okay.
It's 58. They told me it's 58.
Nice.
The Arcturians are often appear as light balls. Very similar to what you've got on your backdrop, like balls of gold light. I have one photograph that I got in Colorado of an Arcturian light being.
Mm-hmm.
But when they are intermingled with humans, they have often green eyes. In fact, when I met Erin 4 years ago, it's
almost.
like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. Almost 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Dad and I, we were in Florida and we were at an event together, and she was sitting outside, and Dad and I brought peanut butter out to go do potty. And I sat down next to her and I looked in her eyes, and I knew that woman. I knew her. I knew that I knew her. I had seen her at the event, but I was completely surrounded with people, but I had seen her, and I kept trying to figure a way. I figured I'd meet her at some point. We would meet. But I sat down next to her and I looked in her eyes and I said, "You're connected to the Arcturians." And she smiled and she said, "I've been told that before." And that was it. I mean, we were thick as thieves, just that fast.
Yeah.
Just that fast. Erin was mine. I was Erin's. All was right with the world. And the story began this time around, because I know that I have known Erin for a very, very long time. And I don't know where. Hi, Brendan. Oh, I love him. Oh, we got Aussies.
We're international.
From the Bobby. Oh my God. He's probably going, "Oh, Andrea, give it up. Don't even try."
Please don't do that, Andrea.
Come up and say hi. Come on. Who's scared? Who's scared? Come on. Come on.
Oh, peanut butter cup.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Thunder must be coming.
It's thunder. It's lightning.
Here she is.
Oh, it's thunder. It's lightning.
Hello, sweetie.
Thunder and lightning. Oh,
Hi,
God.
Peanut.
Her whole little body is shaking. All right, hold on just a second. I'm going to text my sister and tell her to come take the dogs into the bed. Pardon me for just un momento. Talk amongst yourselves.
Absolutely.
Tell her to head to Maine and grab Bean too, and just put them all in her room.
I know it. I know. Where is she, Christine?
You know, I always wondered in that, and when Carrie mentioned wanting to do this tonight, I thought it was a smart idea because there are some of us who do have.
No, hold on, Erin. Hold on one sec. I have 2 hysterical dogs. I need you to come take doggies to your room because thunder and lightning. Okay.
We could be talking about the dogs or you and me,
All right.
Erin. I don't really.
Go either way.
All right.
It really could go either way.
Okay, thanks. Okay. It's okay, honey. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am a thunder shirt. Have you ever seen a thunder shirt? Look, my arms are shaking from her body. And the storm's not here yet. It's like the first strike. Oh, it's so good to see you. A lot of thunder. Peanut is frantic. She's frantic.
Hi, honey.
Relax. Sorry.
That'll help. Yeah.
No
Close.
rain yet.
Oh, hon, and she's panting and she's
She's not
frantic.
gonna come with me. Sam, honey,
Oh.
you're gonna have to move a little
All
bit because this.
All right,
this
hold
whole
on.
bunch-
Hold on. I'm so sorry.
If I get-
We did not anticipate this.
Okay.
This we did
Say
not.
night night.
The dog party.
I'm just gonna hold her.
Oh, they're all like,
You wanna come with me?
I know. She's fine.
Come on, you come with me.
All right, come on, baby. All right, this is the apple of my eye, the center of my universe. Auntie Erin's right there. Oh, honey, don't have a stroke.
she's like, I can't be concerned with Erin right now.
Oh, the poor
Like, I don't give
thing.
a shit. I know who that
So
is.
anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're
I'm
fine.
sorry. Ask me again what you were asking.
No, I was just saying when she mentioned wanting to do this, I thought this is great because I learned how to connect with them through you. And so what we try to always do on our show is try to talk about things and teach, like help people learn they can do at home or things that they can work with stuff they already have. Like they don't have to go spend an astronomical amount of money to like get
Oh
involved.
God, no.
So I remember
and there are
asking
people
you,
that do charge for little excursions and stuff, and I will never be one of them. Ever.
Yeah.
My connection with them is a gift that I give to others freely.
Well, you did, I think for me, the first time you took me astral traveling, which is the only 2 times I've done it, and I knew it was your fault. I blame a lot on you, actually, but
that's fine.
That was one of the most profound experiences I ever had, and I knew at that point, like, okay, I know that I knew I had heard the Arcturian thing, I'd obviously started the energy work, but I didn't realize that the two were so tightly connected for me.
Totally.
So I remember asking you because I hadn't read Wonder to Behold yet. How do I establish a connection? Because like you and I were talking last week, your relationship with them is, and I think I just called it, it's like this dance. It's like watching this beautiful waltz that you do with them and they do with you, and you've helped them, they've helped you. Like we've had these conversations like ad nauseum, all night long. But everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
People are familiar. Obviously, these people are sitting in this room for a reason, not because they're not familiar with this subject matter. But maybe if you have any good suggestions or ways that would be really effective for people to, if they're not already on their journey with the Galactics, what's a good way for them to start learning how to connect with them on their own?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing to do is you can't even doubt that they are among us and with us and around us. Yeah. If you have any doubt at all, they're not going to prove you wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the ball is always in their court. And if you have doubt or you have fear, they're not going to impose themselves on you. If they are anything, they are an incredibly conscientious, group of beings that truly, truly love us.
Right.
They are no threat to us. We are the threat to us. You know, my mom always said, fear the living, not the dead. Well, the galactics say you have to save yourselves from yourselves. Yep. They can't do it for us, or we won't learn anything.
Right.
And so that's their predisposition. But for those of us that, I mean, when I was 4 and 5 years old, my parents would have to come outside routinely at night, regardless of what time of year it was, and pull me off the swing set. And I was out singing to the stars, singing my favorite songs to them.
Whoa, was that lightning?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
I have to clarify because it is you and that house. So, you know, it's not always lightning, but today it's lightning.
Yeah. No, tonight it is really lightning and my dog is freaking out. And if I lose you, if we lose, I'm sorry, I'll come back. I swear to God, I'm just telling you.
It's totally
but,
fine.
you know, and I'd be out in my nightgown in the middle of winter with bare feet, just singing, swinging on a star to the stars. I remember when I was very, very, very young, being a huge, like a crow with the shiny black beak. Yeah. And an enormous wingspan. And one night I went to sleep and I toured the earth as a crow. And I saw vast forests and the redwoods, like covering the entire coast of what we now know as California, before we cut down 85% of them.
Yeah.
You know, 2,000-year-old trees. And we just, you know, couldn't work around that. We had to have them, claim them, kill them.
Right.
But I saw what this country looked like. I saw what the world looked like thousands of years ago.
That's so
that
cool.
Was part of I woke up and I felt completely different. First of all, I felt like I could fly. And so I tried to prove to my mother that I could fly, and I jumped down the stairs and almost broke my neck. 13 stairs. Opened my arms and went down 13 stairs because I was absolutely certain I could fly because I had been flying all night long.
Yeah.
Right.
I was 4 or 5 years old when that happened.
Oh my God. Your poor mother.
Oh, my poor mother. Oh, you don't even know what I put her through. You don't even know. And so they've always been a part of my life, and I've always known that they exist and that I am a part of them, and that part of my reason, and I think a very big part of my reason for being on this planet at this time, specifically, is to help teach and expose others. I truly do believe that we are never going to get disclosure from any government. And, you know, when the guy that's at the helm of it is a pathological liar, would you actually believe him if he said we're not going anyway? You know, so it's not up to them. It's up to us. Yeah. And so anybody that wants to make a connection, that feels comfortable doing it, the best way is to speak to them. I always speak aloud. Mm-hmm. There's something about the vibration of my voice that seems to make a difference. And so I speak aloud to them, and I don't care who hears. It's just, you know,
oh boy.
Oh, look at the whole sky at once, like you're looking at a whole computer screen. Look at the whole sky at once. And just, you can't shut down your thoughts. That's it. You know, this whole clear your mind thing.
Yeah.
No one's ever been able to do that. There is no such thing as clearing your mind. You can quiet your mind.
Yeah.
But it's always a part of you, and it's always going, and it's part of our connection with them. Mm-hmm. So what I say is quiet your mind and feel from your heart. Feel them.
Okay.
And tell them how you feel.
Mhm.
I tell them every day, good morning. Thank you for coming. I deeply appreciate your help. See me, feel me, touch me, heal me. They know that they are allowed into my space, wherever that space is, at any time. They know that. And we've had a couple of incidents over the years since Peanut came into my life where they've made an appearance once in the Winter Garden house and once here that really freaked her out. Erin, you know all about this. This was really freaked her out. Yeah. She did not do well with it because they do look quite different. And I made an agreement with them, and that was, you can come wherever I am anytime. Please don't scare my little dog. Please don't scare Peanut. Mm-hmm. So I told you 4 weeks ago I had my latest PET scan. Mm-hmm. And you see over here there's a black sofa over there, and then the recliners. And oh man, we are going to get
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
Oh, we may have lost her.
We might have lost her.
We'll see if she hops back out and hops back in. She looks so damn good.
She sure does, doesn't she?
Yeah. So while she's navigating this chaotic storm or whatever, I think what was interesting about having this discussion with her about her relationship with them.
Yeah.
She very much attributes to a lot of what's happening with her healing right now to them.
To them.
I mean, a lot of us sending her, our love and energy and whatever that looks like for us, whether it's, words or prayer, energy,
whatever that is. Yeah.
But there's a very special connection that she has with them. And I don't know if she told the story on her show a couple of years ago about this dream that she had. It was almost like a lucid dream where she's protecting this tiny little being from people. I don't know if it was government or, and she's like running with this tiny being in her arms. And I was like, you did that with them. They stepped in and done all this amazing healing work for you. It's almost like this reciprocal,
right?
Is that help because she stepped up for them because this being had something important to say, and now they're stepping in for her because she's got an important role to play. But either way, that's where it's like, to me, it's like there's this dance.
That dance, yeah.
It's like a beautiful waltz that they do together. But it's and as a person who channels the Arcturians for Reiki, that's the bulk of and it's not my energy. Anybody as a healer tells you that it's their energy, don't give them any money and run out the door. Oh yeah, she just texted me and said she has had a tornado warning.
Okay, so we'll have her back on another time.
I'm just gonna text her that okay. So I think it's an interesting testament because I really didn't know how to connect with them at all. And the first time I went to the farm with her, we had quite a powerful experience, like where the sky ripped open during the day.
Oh yeah, this is what you're telling me.
30 seconds of us getting out of the car. And then, so I think the phrase that she uses in A Wonder to Behold is be known to me. So I also speak to them out loud. Actually, it's really funny. Corey the other night, he's got cameras all over the house because of the critters.
Sure.
He must have gotten a motion alert. And I'm just standing there staring up. He's like, what in the hell? But he thought I saw something because I thought I did see something. It was a plane or whatever. But because he watches them too. But I'm always outside, just always looking up. And I learned from her talking to them. For me, it's almost like setting an intention. You would going on an investigation or working with spirit. I feel, I mean, and of course I'm no expert, but that's what works for me is trying to, connect with them. But I think any way you kind of do it that feels good for you is a good way to do it.
Yeah.
But I think for her, like you said, you would agree with this, is you have to feel it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm glad that before the storm, you know, got all uppity and took her away, I'm glad that she kind of touched on you have to, oh, I'm sorry, now I'm
You've
hearing
got storms too. Yeah.
thunder. Yeah. Um, she kind of touched on like you have to believe and you can't be fearful. But I don't, because I have said that, like, be known to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's my turn now. As soon as it's just gonna be a one-woman show.
It's stuck with me. It'll be Aaron and Bean doing God knows
Aaron
what.
and Bean playing with
Can't
the
lose
squeak
Carrie
toy.
because then it just goes to shit after that if it's just me.
Because it's not always I also think you almost sort of have to have that like you said, the intention, but kind of the time to give them.
Yeah.
Because
Makes sense.
I have said to them, you know, be known to me. Like, I'm not afraid of them. I know that I have one of them on my, you know, is one of my guides. I know that I do. I don't know who it is. I don't know what race of family they're with. I don't know anything. I know that they're there, but I don't have the time that they deserve if they were to be known to me. You know what I mean? Like, I have such a busy life, and we've talked a lot on the show, you know, that just finding even 5-10 minutes a day to meditate is difficult for a lot of us.
Yeah.
I'm one of them, you know, so I just feel like maybe if you didn't have the time to dedicate to them, that might be another reason why maybe they're not showing themselves to you.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility, but I also think I take them with me everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't dedicate, like, and this is just me, and you know me, I don't prepare to do shit for, I'm as lazy as they get, but I include them and I talk to them pretty much every day, every time I take Bean out at night, or you know, if I go for a ride in the car or I'm on a road trip, or like I just take them with me so that I don't really like I feel like they're kind of with me all the time, so it feels like less of a time thing for me.
Sure.
Because that's just kind of what I do. I mean, I just hop in the car, like we're going for a ride or whatever. And Andrea has this whole prayer that she does when she travels that calls them in as well. But like for me, I haven't spent an extraordinary amount of time with them. And even when I'm channeling for Reiki, like I'm not having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
But for me, it almost felt like I've always been a channel for them, but I didn't know it. So once I kind of opened that door, it just kind of flows through that copper tube, for lack of a better phrase.
Sure. Was it like that for you though from the very beginning?
No, I didn't know I had any connection to them. I mean, I've always been fascinated. My dad's big into UFOs. So I've never had a fear of them. I've never been afraid of them. I've always very much felt like they were here to help, not hurt. And then when I finally started connecting, they started showing me things that just validated what I had already thought. But it just gave me an opportunity to see that they are a part of us, that we are connected, that they do, like the amount of shit I started seeing in the sky, even in Florida.
Yeah.
And actively calling them in. It was like something almost every day. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you see some weird shit in Maine too, because there's a lot less lights out.
Bet. I bet. Yeah.
And we've had some farm experiences. I know Cody and Satori have had a couple up there. Corey and I were sitting at the lower field and watched a big red one just kind of zoom over the sky. Like they're always around. But I think just like anything else, the more you're like tapping into it, the more you're kind of acknowledging that it's there, then it's easier for them to connect, right? Because you are consciously now aware that they are a part of you. You are a part of them.
Yeah.
And maybe that, I don't know, but I think it's different for everyone. I think it's different depending on what your
intention
is.
Yeah, probably. And like what it is they want to teach you or bring to you or what have you. Do you know, and this is another thing, is I've written down like a laundry list of questions for her. Which I think some of them I may like text her, because I did see that Lori had asked if she could talk about star seeds. And I was like, ooh, yeah. So maybe you have some answers to some of these questions. That's one of them. But the other one is like, how can you find out like what family or race of them that you belong to? Like she said that you have a connection to the Arcturians. How do you find out that do you know, like if you're like have a connection to the Palladians or the Andromedans or the
that would be definitely be more of a question for her, because again, you're talking to someone who doesn't really care about the details, right? Because remember, I'm that weird person. I don't really care who my spirit guides are. I just know.
I know, and I'm like, I have all the questions and need answers.
Yeah, and the Arcturian thing I had heard from a mentor, like probably about 1.5 years before I met her. So it was the only time I'd heard it. Never put any stock into it. Didn't even know what the hell that meant until she brought it up. And is she trying? No, that's my mom. My mom knows I'm doing a show. Why is she calling me? They must be having storms too. But anyway, I think.
Do you need to answer that? Maybe they have a problem.
Nah, she just. Okay. I think she just forgot. But I think once I heard it twice, then it was like, okay, so there's something to that. But again, I didn't really do anything with it. I was already doing energy work, but I wasn't working with the Galactics at all.
Yeah.
And then she kind of filled me in, and I did a little research on my own of what the Arcturians are. And they're more of like generally really intelligent, which I don't really assign with that so much because it's me, but they're healers, so that makes sense, right?
That does make a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay.
It started making sense, the kind of lights I was seeing. And then once I figured that out, they started showing me some things specifically to healing of people. Here, Ken put up he said, this is a website, test to attain your star family.
Cool.
And Ken doesn't put up something unless there's some like validity to
it.
Yeah. Soulpreneur.co.uk. He said it's a test. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
So yes, there's clearly ways to do it, and she could probably give hints on that as well. I don't know how she determined Pleiadian. I think for me, the Arcturian, once it registered twice, then it was like, okay, she's starting to kind of pay attention a little bit. Yeah. But then the more I learned about them, the more what I was doing and what I was channeling made more sense. So then it was like, okay, got it, right?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They want to know who Ken's star family is. Oh,
the
Jedi. Obviously. I don't even know why I had to ask that. I should know better. He's our Obi-Wan.
Yes. Mine are the Wookiees, of which Chewbacca obviously is.
Yes.
Part of that. Yes.
Yeah. But I think it's also just giving yourself a chance to kind of explore it without there being any rules again, right? Like if it feels good for you to go stand out and sing in the driveway, or you do it meditating, or like whatever, it doesn't matter. I think once they acknowledge that you are ready, I think like she said, once you decide you're ready to make that connection, then things will start to happen. But they're not going to come to you until they feel like you're actually ready. And it's not just a matter of saying, I'm ready, I need it to happen now. Like you're just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, because for me, it was like once I started figuring out, it all kind of hit all real fast.
Right. And which has kind of been your whole like way into this entire industry, into this field. It was just sort of like one tiny step and then bam, you're hit from all sides, literally with everything.
That seems to be how it goes for me. Nothing just happens slowly. It's like, boom, here it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing this now. But I think too, there's something, I don't know, and maybe this is just me, but for me, the not needing to know the details made it a little bit easier, because I wasn't looking for a specific answer. I wasn't really looking for anything other than how can I channel that? If I'm a part of this, how can I channel that energy better to help people heal faster? Not for my own benefit. Like
sure.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if it was because I wasn't looking for a specific answer. That seems to work for me. It's like half-assing it, I guess.
Well, that's good.
I don't know. Maybe it's a lack of expectation.
That's good. That makes sense.
It does it though.
It does. I mean, it makes sense to me, but then you and I always have these sort of like
weird,
rambling conversations that sound kind of convoluted, and yet we're both like, I absolutely get it. Get each other's ramblings.
I mean, I know like when Lori asked about star seeds, like I don't know a ton about them. I do know like you have the star seeds, you have the indigo children, and I don't know enough about either of them to comfortably have a discussion because I don't want to.
The Indigo Children, wasn't that like a band that played with Lilith Fair? No, wait, that was Indigo Girls. Never mind, sorry.
Close though, yeah. But so that might be something we have to have. We can have a discussion offline and maybe do that on another show where we can talk about. That might be a good thing for us to do. If there's questions, we can always put them in chat, and then we could send them to Andrea and she could answer them that way for us, and we can have a discussion on it. Or maybe we can get her to come back on a week that's not stormy.
I didn't actually think that there were going to be storms until I went outside with my mom, and I'm like, what's happening with we just had a round of storms. I swear, I'm going to need to mow again.
Y'all are getting spanked in the South. I was like, holy crap.
I know. I can't decide what it wants to do. It was 85 this weekend and then 50 something yesterday. I'm like,
I know. We had like 56 the other day, and then it was 22 and snow. And I'm like, I'm very confused, but I love it. I'll take the snow.
Listen, we'll take it.
Where are they from, or is it when? I think that's a good question, because I think you know this too. You agree with this. They all come from a different star system or galaxy, but the is it when question is interesting because time is only a linear construct for humans. So I think is it when is a very good question. What do you think?
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I might not know like how that is. It like you said, time is a linear construct because we have made it. We came up with it.
Right.
So how would we find that? Oh, HTTPS.
Sorry, I just.
I've taken several courses from a woman who actually built a lot of her courses around what she learned from the Palladians. So I know about them. But as far as like, or is it when? That seems such a vast. There could be an infinite number of answers to when.
I mean, to this one, I think the answer is yes, all fronts.
Right, exactly. All of it.
If we're gonna get into
you got it, it's good.
It's right. I mean, I think if we talk about like collective consciousness, we talk about source, unified consciousness. To me, I feel like there's sort of a direct offshoot of source, and that's just a personal opinion. I feel like when you're starting to talk about collective consciousness, then you're starting to get into more of the quantum realm of things, the quantum entanglement conversation. And if you like in the movie, what's the space movie with Matthew McConaughey, where he goes to space? His daughter is angry with him all the time. I can't think of the movie. Somebody in the chat will tell me what it is. I can't remember that.
It doesn't sound like any Star Wars episode I've ever seen.
No, it's damn it. I can't think of it.
Not Armageddon. I don't know.
He and his daughter basically
Interstellar.
So there's a point in that movie where he is in space. She is, and he's going through it looks like all this netting, right? The way I interpreted that, because he's basically in the quantum realm at that point, because he's knocking on these books, right? And dust is falling in a certain pattern that she has to figure out.
Yeah.
But what's weird about that scene is she's a little girl when that's happening. He's in the house when it's happening, packing up to go, but he's also in the quantum realm making this shit happen. So the way I understand the tiniest bit of quantum anything is it's every possibility and every choice that you did make and didn't make that could ever exist, all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So, so you're starting to get into like, Interstellar, and then it's so convoluted and complicated. I don't think any of us actually know the answer, but the one thing I know in my gut is that everything is connected to everything else all the time.
Right. Yes.
So I don't know if it's different. I think it's all the things. I think it's different planes. I think it's a physical difference. But it's all still connected.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I answered that worth a shit, but man, that's a good one.
I mean, it made sense to me, but like I said, you and I with the convoluted, it's a whole thing. But yes, Mary Beth was like head exploding. I was listening to you and I'm like, okay, I'm following along. But then I thought if she starts throwing math equations in,
no.
my brain will go kerplooey.
I hate math.
That's when I'm done.
I only know anything about the little bit about the quantum side is when you start doing Reiki, distance Reiki, right? People, it doesn't work. Sure it does, because your energy and my energy are connected. We know each other. It wouldn't matter if you were in North Carolina and I was in China. It doesn't matter. The energetics don't change no matter what the distances are. So
yes. Which is how you're able to infuse all of our products with Reiki for the shop.
Right. This distance.
Okay, right. Cool. I did see something in here, a question, I think, or a comment.
I'm going back up through.
Yeah, me too.
Lori, I think that Melissa is correct. Deb DeRoos would be the star seed, not starweed, but starweed would probably be delicious.
Listen, if you know where to get starweed, just hit me up. Let me know. That'd be fantastic.
I
think I'm part Klingon.
Put an updated link in.
Which
one says she's resonated with Palladian. I know Tom and Andrea recently connected, like not through a show, but personally, and they've talked quite a bit about that, because the first time I saw Tom's eyes, I was like, oh shit, that guy is not all from here either. He is also,
like, no offense, Tom, but those are not human colored.
They're not.
They're just,
but his eyes are a lot like Andrea's,
and like
blue. I keep checking my phone to see if she's
kind of like crystalline, like she was describing those blue lights. Like his eyes are wild in the best way.
In the best way, yeah.
Not like he's a psycho and he's got wild, crazy eyes.
Just like, wow, whoa. There's a lot going on.
There's something really magnetic and wonderful about him. Okay, hold on. I think I just passed it. The Aaron and Bean show. Hey, listen.
Oh, geez. Nobody wants that.
Okay, so Joseph, he commented, I'd like to know who my spirit guide is, but maybe I'm not meant to. No, that's absolutely, I don't want you to believe that, because that's not true. We are all, you can know who your spirit guides are at any single moment that you want to. Aaron doesn't, that's just Aaron's choice, that she just is like, I don't need to know. But if you want to know who they are, they're not going to be like, no, you're not ready to find out.
Right.
That's not how that works. So I don't want you to think that you're not meant to know who they are, because you absolutely are. If you want to, you just have to ask.
Yep.
You just have to ask. It's really that simple.
Now that, I think, would you agree that with spirit guides, I think is that does need time and cultivation, right? Because that is, I mean, or am I wrong on that? Do you think?
No, I mean, they're kind of like, yes, you're right. Like, but they also kind of function very much kind of like the galactic family, where they're not in the business of startling you or scaring you or, whatever. Right. Like when you're ready to know who they are, just ask and they'll tell you. But they don't want to force someone down a road they're not ready to go down.
Also true.
So, and I feel like that's kind of like the same with the galactic family. I did have a conversation with somebody like a week or so ago that felt that maybe their guides were punishing them. It was shortly after we had that episode on spirit guides and angels and how to connect, that they were being punished for some reason. And I want to address that as well. They're not in the business of punishment either. Nothing is a punishment. If it's hard, if it's difficult, there's a lesson in there that you need to be learning. But it isn't meant to punish you. They just don't do that. That's not something that like exists in the light, which is where all of our guys, and including the galactic family, live. That's that kind of behavior, that kind of thinking is not It's just not something that exists there. So we are never being punished by our guides. When I told the story about getting in trouble with my 2 guides after the whole OSR thing, that wasn't, it wasn't a punishment, but it was very, 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 yep. It was a very difficult lesson that I had to learn, and quickly.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah, I got a talking to.
They're always going to. So I had an interesting conversation with somebody who was very much struggling with what they were hearing. Probably won't take you long to figure out who that person was, about a year and a half. And I was, because this is something I learned, and I do believe this to be true. If you're trying to figure out what you're getting is good or bad, your guides and your others in your tribe on the other side are never going to do anything that's not benefiting your highest good. May not always be what you want to hear, but they're always going to lead with what's in your highest good, right? Like they're not going to be telling you to hurt other people, or, you know, go out and trash this person or hurt this person, or any of that. You're always going to get it in a message or a feeling of kindness and and love. I think I don't know that it's that, because I think somebody said they're not allowed. I don't know if it's not allowed. I don't think that they're wired that way, right? Like I just don't think. I think it's a wiring thing,
right? Yeah, yeah. It's not. It's not. I mean, I guess I could kind of see, like, you know, they're not allowed to do that. It's not so much that as in it's just not something that's just not something that lives in the light.
Right.
That's punishments and, you know, whatever. Those are human emotions and human choices.
Low vibrational, high
very
density,
low vibrational. Yes. Which of course we had talked about in another episode, that we all at some point, even, you know, to this day, there are moments where I'm like, all right, low vibrational it is. Do I always live my life from that space? No.
Right.
But I'm human. I have an ego. And it does tend to, you know, kick people down the low road. But, you know, but no, there's nothing like that. One of the favorite, Andrea has said some of the most amazing things I've ever heard in my life that I have applied to my life, certainly to how I use my abilities. But the one thing that I always remember when I start getting real mad about my circumstances because they're not where I want them to be, is that the test always comes before the lesson.
Yep.
And that's something I don't think I will ever forget. But I can see how it might be easy to confuse that with I'm being punished, and maybe I'm just not meant to know.
Yeah.
We can know everything we want to know. We're ready to hear, or maybe stuff we're not ready to hear. Yes. That's
Ken
it.
coming in hot with the good meme. I like it. It's so true.
Yes, that is that's what Sandalfog says about me. I swear.
Yeah.
Yes, they can, but generally we'll find them on our own. We'll find them on our own.
I think that's when you start getting into the fate preconceived discussion. Like,
oh yeah,
are you like, was I destined to meet Andrea? I don't know, but my life lined up oddly. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was going to cancel because my mom was sick. Like, but it happened anyway, right? So I don't know if I think with, like Carrie said, like you still have free will, and there's still life stuff that happens, and I think the thing I get so sad that I hear the most is I'm late. I started this journey too late. No, you were always on time. You will meet these people that you're supposed to connect with right on time, whenever that's supposed to be, right? Yeah. Like, I do think they guide you towards people, but you have to recognize changes in your life, and perspective has to kick in. And, you know, you really have to believe that you are on a path guided by the universe, guided by, guides and whoever else is helping you on that other side to get to your highest good. You may not know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing right now. My job ends in 2 weeks. I have no idea what's coming next. And that's okay, right? Because I know
unemployment is what comes next.
Right. So it's like, okay, but there's a reason for everything. And I think a lot of that is hanging onto your perspective of trusting them to help you end up where you need to be. Now, if you're at a fork and you have to take left or right, there's not a wrong choice. One just take you a little longer to get back to the path you're on. One maybe short, but you don't know. You just have to make the choice.
Yeah.
You just have to do shit, and you have to trust that you're being divinely guided by someone else.
Yes, absolutely. I like Mary Beth's comment, which is if you aren't where you want to be, what are you going to do about it?
You pack up your shit and you move to Maine. No, just kidding. Yeah. Sorry.
You beat feet out of the desert and you moved to freaking North Carolina where the weather is just super weird.
Right.
But that is essentially true. That what are you going to do about it? Mm-hmm. And again, it just kind of all of this ties into everything that we have been talking about since we started this show, 7-8 months ago, is that you have the ability to create your own reality. And you have the ability to, people call it manifest, people call it like retraining their reticular activating system, whatever it is that you want to call it. You do have the ability to create or change your own reality, change where you are in your life. Is it easy? No. We'll always say that. That's the whole backbone of the show. But you can't. You have to put in the work. Mm-hmm. You just have to put in the work. Yeah. Because it's all very well and good. Like if you are feeling kind of stuck or what have you, like certainly having a Reiki session or maybe going to see somebody to have like your chakras cleared out and balanced for you, that is all very helpful, but you can't just rely on those things to change your lot in life.
Well said, ma'am.
Thank y'all. That was a lesson I learned the hard way.
Isn't that the only way we learn anything?
Yeah, it's pretty much the only way.
I mean, it's, but again, we're still human and being human's hard. And I think is to some degree.
It's a racket is what it is. Being human is a racket.
Also true. Like that meme right now is like if the aliens were to come down and be like, I'm ready to go on vacation. Can you just take me? Like, please. I'd like to go now. But
I'm here for you. Yeah. You don't need to beam me up by my chest plate. Just drop down a ladder. I'll climb right up. It's fine.
You don't get no argument from me. I come willingly.
We are good.
And you don't want to know our leader. Trust us.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think it's one of those things you do have to put the work in. And I do think if I'd have tried to have any of these discussions 5 years ago, no, because I didn't have a knowledge about any of this shit. I was so firmly 3D.
Yeah.
I could not have even wrapped my brain around any of these topics. Now.
Same.
So, I think everybody here has a good base knowledge of a lot of the things that we discuss, which is, I think, plenty.
Yeah.
We all agree that we're higher. We're all connected. We all agree that there's a higher power of some kind, whether that's the universe or God or whatever that is for you.
Right. Whatever that looks like for you. Yeah.
There's something else there.
The galactic family.
The galactics. But like, how do you, it's up to you to cultivate and nurture those relationships. This work is going to hurt. I'm ready, Mike. Starting during this week, this work is going to hurt, but I'm ready. Might cry, cuss, and be dramatic. Sounds like a whole lot.
That's the only way I do work. That's the only way. Just ask Aaron and Ken. When we sign off at the end of these episodes, I am crying, cussing, and being dramatic. Just about like whatever life. But no, you're right. And if that's what it takes to get you through it, to keep you motivated, freaking do it.
And it's not pretty. This work is not pretty. It's
But I think if you want to know who your guides are, if you want to know if you've got a lesson that you need to learn, you just can't seem to do it. Mm-hmm. Like you have the answers. You can get the answers that you want to get, as long as you don't have an expectation of what that answer is. Because like Aaron said, it may not be the answer you want to hear. And certainly like with the Akashic records, like the Akashic records are a book of every single soul's life, of every single incarnation it has had, it is in, and it is going to have. You might ask the Lords of the Records a question, and then the answer they give you might really piss you off or offend you, or you can know it, but we don't guarantee you're going to like what they say.
Oh, like,
again, it's not meant to punish you or harm you, hurt your feelings, or whatever.
Well, and we're eventually going to have you do a whole episode on Akashics, because you're much more well versed in it. But I did do an Akashic Records reading, and I'll tell everybody this probably like 4 or 5 months into this journey for me. So 2019, July of 2019. Shit, 6 years almost now. I was able to get into the Akashic Records, but I could not read them because I wasn't ready. I haven't tried since. But I would be curious in trying to do one now, what that would look like, because I could get into the library. I could tell you what it looked like for me. I could tell you what the books and the scrolls look like, but I opened it up and it was like reading Greek. Like I couldn't, because I wasn't ready to read them yet. I wasn't at a point in my journey or my knowledge of any of this stuff to be able to read them. It wouldn't have mattered or made sense to me then.
Yeah. The other thing I find amusing about the Akashic Records is don't ask questions that are like yes or no.
Right.
Don't do that. Will I find my true soulmate? Yes. Right. No. Don't you need to ask questions, like, you know how they're always saying when you go to you're at work and then you have to do these team building things, and they teach you especially in sales, like ask open-ended questions. That's what you have to do. With the Lords of the Records, your masters, your teachers, your loved ones, when you're in them, like ask them deep questions like, why am I so financially irresponsible? Right. I asked that. I found out why. It was a program that had been running for hundreds of lives ago. But if I were to say, will I become financially responsible? They probably won't answer that question.
Right.
So you have to just be real specific, go in with like a specific set of questions, I guess. But nothing that we talk about, the galactic family, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, oracles, anything, whatever you call them, nobody is there to punish you.
No.
Your parents are here to punish you.
And we punish ourselves all the time.
The police are here to punish you if you break the law. We punish ourselves. We punish our friends. That's a human construct. Yeah. It just isn't something that lives in the light for any of them. So it's important that if you take nothing away from this entire series of shows, take that away. They're not here to punish you, but they are here to teach you. And sometimes the lessons suck. They're hard. We don't know what they look like. We don't,
And some of us aren't teachable.
Some of us aren't teachable.
That's something I've been working on too. Like
you're not teachable.
Wasn't very, I've gotten better over definitely gotten better, because once I made that connection in my own brain, that helped a lot. Like I had to teach myself to be more teachable, right? Because I'm the oldest of 4 kids. I've always, run something in an office. Like I'm used to being kind of in charge or in control. And then once this was a big swift kick in the ass that you are absolutely not in control of a lot of things, and you're going to have to learn to just roll with it, and you're going to have to be patient, and it's not always going to be what you want, right? Like, so
that's the one thing I hate is having to be patient. I'm not patient. Never been patient. Tried to work on being patient. Took too long. I got impatient. Like the whole thing. When I get mad or hurt, when I don't like what's being said about after, and that's important. That's important that you don't just write it off because you were mad or you were hurt. What she's doing is the way that you should be. Sit with it, whatever it was you heard. Maybe you don't have to do it that day. Maybe it's in a week. Maybe it's in 2, but just kind of ruminate on it.
I've been there too.
Guarantee you will find how accurate and the truth in it.
12 years of Catholic school has done more damage for me with the punishment thing. I still think I'm 46 years old. And I always think I'm in trouble.
Especially when someone's like, we need to talk. Uh-oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Punishment equals fear. Fear equals low vibe. I love that we're like almost done with the show and we're getting all these like brilliant
It's true.
comments at the end of this. Always send love. True. Because that's the thing. I mean, really, at the end of the day, the universe doesn't actually give a shit about what you want. Like, the universe gives you what you put out. Now, it does have your highest good, but it like cares it's always going to be easy. But it's a vibrational match. You're going to get back what you put out.
Yeah.
I was one of those people for a long time. This was also another giant lesson. Not in control. Yep.
Yeah, that's a
big one.
That is a big one, especially for those that are hyper independent like me. Drives my son nuts because he's like, you need to start like asking for help and then like taking the help that's offered to you instead of this entire mantra of
I can do it myself.
I can do it myself.
That's one I really struggle with still. I'm not real good at that one. Andrea will tell you. Ken will also tell you.
Good night, Candy. Sleep well.
Feel better, Sandy. So maybe what we'll do is I'll take some of the questions from the chat that popped up and I'll send it to Anne, and either we can get her back on at some point or have her answer them an email for me or text or something like that. And then we can bring that back up. I'm just really glad that she was able to come on. She looks great.
It sure does. For somebody that was the kind of type of cancer she had, she looks amazing.
Yeah. And she's no longer inoperable or incurable. So the fact that she's glowing like clearly there's a lot at play here. Like I think her story is a testament to, obviously modern medicine, but then also the magic and the effectiveness of energy healing and believing in a higher power and just basically giving cancer this. She's never had any fear. She took that out of the equation. So there's no low vibrational shit going on there. So I'm glad everybody at least got to see her and get some good info out of her,
Yeah, and we definitely, like Aaron said, we'll have her back on. We'll see if she can answer some of those questions. I don't know Deb DeRoos.
Yeah, Deb's great.
I don't know if you could reach out and just ask her, or maybe we do like a little sidebar conversation with her and just record
a lot of
it
people
and pop
here
it on
know
the,
Deb.
on the show or something.
Yeah, several people here know Deb well. She's one of Annie's best friends, and she's always open to answering questions. They actually do quite a few shows around the Galactics, her and RJ, her husband. But they're based out of Michigan. So she runs the UFO Con and this event that she's going to at the end of the month. And cool. You can always reach out to Deb as well. So she's a little harder to get because she's a busy woman.
Yeah.
Deb is a hot ticket. That is a fact. Yep. I tried to heal her with my hands. Healing hands are amazing. Hot hands do amazing things.
They're amazing. All right. Well, I'm glad that she was on for as long as she was on. We got to talk to her for a little bit. Aaron and I were very excited about this one. A lot of you did guess the correct guest. So next time, Aaron, we will have to be a little more creative so that they're utterly stumped and shocked when we bring them on camera. We don't have guests on a lot, and that's by design. But with certain topics that neither one of us are very well versed on, of course, we're going to call in the folks that can actually show us all like a thing or two about those topics. So Andrea was certainly a wealth of information on a lot of topics, but the Galactics is really where she shines.
Just putting the voices of contact right for Andrew's show on Friday. Deb, RJ, and Mary. Yeah. There's some
Oh,
good,
cool.
all Deb DeRusse related.
Love it. Love it. Do you have a meme for this week?
I don't. I didn't grab a meme. I forgot.
You don't have a meme.
Who's the one Ken put up for us? Because I forgot.
Oh, this bitch.
He did the meme job for me early.
I literally think I should get that tattoo. This bitch. SMH. There was something I did want to. I can't remember what it was.
I mean, I can pull a Starseed card if you guys want me to.
That'd be cool. Here's our mantra for the week, guys. I pulled it. Our sweary affirmation. I don't think we've done this. We're getting to the end of the deck, so we're gonna have to start recycling the cards. But
that's right.
Or we'll find new ones. But I am my own best friend. Other people are total dicks. Listen.
That's good. All right,
it's true too. So I will take a picture of this, post it in the Facebook group chats. God, Erin, what was it I was gonna say before the story affirmation? No,
I don't remember. You can't even read this. Perspective. And it's the freaking moon, because of course it is.
Oh yeah.
None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground.
What did it say?
None of this matters. Zoom out and common ground. Perspective.
That's interesting. All
right, let's see. These books are so tiny. I'm definitely starting to get to the point where I need readers.
Listen, it just reminds me that I need to go to the eye doctor.
Right. Me too. Take a step back. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. Change your perspective, shift your point of view, and zoom out, out, out. We are but a speck of dust in the universe, yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and setting ourselves up for our eventual extinction. We build in walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what's been severed. This moment is a breath in the timeline of your life. This life is a fleeting moment in the tapestry of your soul's experience. Your soul's experience is a flash in the timeline of the known universe, and the known universe is a grain of sand in the unknown universe. Take a moment to see the bigger picture, to find common ground, to find deep compassion in your heart, to gain a greater perspective of humanity in this fleeting moment in the timeline of your soul's existence and the timeline of all that is, was, and ever will be.
Wow. That's impressive. We were just kind of talking about that. Andrea talking about, the redwoods and how she's not been able to see the earth.
You're talking about the Akashics. You basically said the same thing.
Yeah, God, those never fail.
That deck is so good.
They just never fail.
That's the deck. Speaking of star seeds, although Lori, I used to pull cards for Lori from this deck quite a bit, so she knows this deck. All right. We got anything else? I think we've pretty much covered it all. Hey, Beth.
I think we did. Hey, Beth. Sorry, it looks like she's just joining us, and we're wrapping up. We had Andrea, the beautiful Andrea Perron, on the show tonight. We were talking about the galactic family, and then the storms in Georgia took her out, and she lost connection. She got tornadoes, a whole crazy thing.
Recent update. They're in a bathtub. So
yeah. Are they really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cozy. Her and her sister, the dogs.
I love it.
Yeah, probably. I think the storms are just moving through tonight. Thanks, guys. A great show tonight. Be safe. I love this group. It's amazing. I do want to say just that real quick. We all have a very deep and sincere love and respect and kind of kinship to Andrea Perron. She certainly is a force in this world, and she has touched the lives of so many of us. and to have her on the show and to, have her as a friend. I want us all to kind of just be grateful that we had the fortune of living in this same lifetime with Andrea Perron. Yep. Because I think she has, like I said, I think she's just kind of touched all of our lives in a way that we all needed at the time that we met her. Yep. So we will definitely have her back on, but let's all just be super happy that we are currently living this lifetime with Andrea Perron, which I think is tremendous and wonderful. And never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd get to meet her, let alone become her friend and interview her. And, those are the good things. Those are the things that people that get put in your path by the guides, by design.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I love it. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. And then also don't forget, Aaron and I are going to be on Stay Haunted Monday, the 21st, 9 p.m. It is Chris Allgood and Audra Keeler's brand new show with Todd and Carmela. I'm going to do it. Cocotilo. Yay, I said it. And for those of you going to Gettysburg, they're all going to be there. I'm going to be there, working real hard and trying to get Aaron there.
We're trying.
Yeah, we're trying. Cody and Satori are going to be there. John Zaffis. It's going to be a really, really great time. So hopefully if you guys can make it over to Gettysburg in July 25th-ish weekend. I think. Yeah. I don't have my calendar in front of me. But so we're going to be on Stay Haunted. And then Erin's going to let everybody know when she's back up and running with taking clients again for Reiki. I have a shop. Go shop there. This little skincare.com. I was like, I don't know what I'm saying. And that's all I've got. Yeah. Everybody who's got, rain and storms headed their way, be safe. I think.
And we love you guys.
Midnight. Yeah. We love you. You guys are wonderful. I'll put our affirmation in the group.
Brilliant.
Okay, that's it. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Don't forget, Cody's Stories show is next Thursday. And also, Dead Air.
Last Bite's going to be coming up soon. We got Dead Air on Sundays. Yep.
Yeah. Extremely Strange. We've got lots of really cool stuff. And then, of course, Andrea's show tomorrow night.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.